Hi, good afternoon. I'm Christian Cano. I was very honored to be your 9th Congressional District nominee for the Democratic Party for 2016 for Congress. And I'm also very proud to be the candidate for the 9th Congressional District for the Democratic Party. Yesterday, Robert Pittenger posted on his congressional Facebook page an article that he had, an op-ed that he had written in one of our local newspapers in our congressional district, and it was entitled "Time for Medicaid to be Fixed." Because we know that Robert Pittenger has never let facts interfere with his rhetoric, and because after reading the article we received many emails from our neighbors saying, how could this be true, is this true, how do we fact check this information? Neighbors for Cano, we took the time to actually fact check the information that he has been sharing with our neighbors, and we'd like to share with you what we have come up with.
Hi, my name is Anthony Yeager. I'm the political director for Cano for Congress, and I just wanted to go over some of the claims Congressman Pittenger made in his article in the Robicinian. For example, in an early paragraph he talks about almost an uprising of disabled people and how disabled people are being neglected under the Affordable Care Act, and in particular its Medicaid expansion program. But in fact, the congressman has his programs confused. Medicaid is for low-income people. And in fact, many red states benefited from expanding Medicaid, which is completely paid for by the federal government. Louisiana, for example, and Kentucky both had close to 300,000 enrollees. In North Carolina, our governor at the time, Pat McCrory, rejected Medicaid expansion, knowing that it was free, paid for by the federal government, and would enroll almost 600,000 people. Medicaid is for low-income people making approximately $16,000 a year. Medicare, which covers the elderly and the disabled, is for those people. Congressman Pittenger in his article argues that 748 people have died in the state of Illinois waiting for Medicaid to help them. Yet, Medicaid is not for the disabled. He also makes a claim of how out of 12 cases of people enrolling in the Affordable Care Act marketplace, 9 of them were able to file fake insurance accounts. Yet, of these 12 people, this was a government study conducted by the U.S. federal government to see if people could enroll falsely. So this was not people making fake accounts. These were people paid for by the federal government seeing if they could get away with it to shore up their accounts. I also want to talk about state accountability. The congressman talks about giving it back to the states and giving health care back to the states. But again, the Medicaid expansion that he mixed up has gone to the states. It is touch on Congressman Pittenger's bad actors that he refers to, or the fictional people that he made up that are taking advantage of the system and the tax credits. When you sign up for the Affordable Care Act on the marketplace, as more than 20 million people have, you don't just get a check. You get a tax credit applied to your premium. So if your premium is $1,000 and you get a tax credit for $800, you are paying $200. You are not getting a check for $800. So it really doesn't make any sense to abuse the system in that way. But I want to talk about his tax cuts. It is true the House plan will cut $888 billion. Yet, 40% of those tax cuts are going to go to the top 1%. So he says multiple times in his article about putting money back in the pockets of hardworking families, yet almost half of the $888 billion is going to 1% of the tax-paying population. That doesn't seem like it's going back in hardworking pockets to me.
Once again, thank you for Anthony for sharing the information and sharing some fact checking that our team did regarding Robert Pittenger's op-ed in the one of the local newspapers. And I think what's really important about this is that we are now in a climate where public servants feel it is acceptable to share misinformation, fake information, and quite honestly, to share outright lies. Robert Pittenger has a history of sharing information that are half-truths, and many of them are not true. They've been proven untrue. When he shared information about Ebola, about border kids, about the president for the last 4 years, he was sharing misinformation, at many town hall events. So what I would like to do is I would like to invite all of our neighbors in our congressional district, all 8 counties, to go on to Congressman Pittenger's Facebook page, read the op-ed that he had that he wrote, or that his staff wrote on his behalf, and do your own research and think logically. Does what he say make logical sense? And don't be afraid to question Robert Pittenger. He works for us. And it's very important because unfortunately he has not afforded us the right to see him in town hall meetings to ask him these tough questions face to face. So as a result of that, we are going to have to take that extra effort to hold him accountable from afar. We can call his offices, post on social media, post on Twitter the information that he posts to make sure that what he's saying is correct. You know, it's very discouraging that that American citizens have to worry about what comes out of the mouth of a public servant is true. We have a long history of public servants stretching to the truth. But we've never been in an environment where a president of the United States actually just lies, or where a congressman constantly lies, which is why he's under FBI investigation, IRS investigation, and ethics investigation. He's not an ethical man. He's not a trustworthy man. So it's important that we hold him accountable and we make sure that what he says is accurate. The most telling part of what he had to say, and then we'll let you do your own investigation, is where he insinuates that adults with disabilities are being discriminated against in favor of able-bodied adults. That's a very, very strong statement. And you know, we would love to see the information of where he receives this information. He never cites sources. He just kind of spurts things out. So for him to actually suggest that good people in the United States, and good people in government, good people in the state department, health departments, good neighbors, hospital workers, and so forth, would purposely put people who are disabled in harm's way in favor of people who are able is, quite frankly, is immoral. And as a person of faith, I find it very offensive. I'm not sure what faith Robert Pittenger practices, but it surely is not the faith that many of our Americans practice. So once again, please do your own research, and thank you for your time. God bless America.